Testing. One, two. Test, test, test. 1, 2. 1, 2. Hey, Matt, can this go a little louder? 1, 2. Because I feel like I'm really having to speak into it. 2. 1, 2. Huh? No, I did not. Have it out with him. He keeps telling me. 1, 2, 1, 2. A little bit better. A little bit better. Yeah, okay, good. All right, good evening, everyone, and thank you all for coming tonight, and thank you for not sitting on the seats that are being set up for the show tomorrow. We appreciate your help with that. Okay, so this is the Whittingham Homeowners Association Greenbriar Whittingham Community Joint Open Board Meeting for Thursday, January 29th. Would everyone please rise for a pledge of allegiance? Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. Okay, Matt, can I have a roll call, please?
Sure, real quick. Can everybody on Zoom hear us okay? Can somebody put something in the chat?
Everything good with our system?
Yep, people can hear us. Good. Okay, Tom Clark,
Here?
Jay Westler,
Yeah.
Bob Brown, Kathy Dodano, Joe Attanasio, Kathy Clark and Gleason, and Jeff Simonson. And Greenbriar Board, Chester Trubinsky,
Here.
Ron Parisi,
Here.
Mark Sirks,
Here.
Cliff Durlacher, and Alan Greenberg is absent tonight. And I'm here, and Susie Weingartner's here. Kristen is not with us tonight. So Susie's going to read a report tonight.
All righty. All right, Matt, you have your report for us?
Absolutely. A couple of things we went over last week have changed. Our privacy fence project, I don't know when they're going to start again. I'm just being, Alan Greenberg's on Zoom, sorry. Yeah, I don't know when we're going to see the ground again or start that back up. They made some good progress after the new year. We got 90 of 219 homes done, so they're making some good progress, but we'll see what happens in the next few weeks. It doesn't look like it's going to warm up enough for them to get back here. But as soon as it does, they'll be back at it. Mentioned last week at the WOA open meeting, we have a new pool company, Millennial Pools, that has started as of January 2nd. We're getting a lot of good feedback from them. We're going to obviously be meeting with them a few times before the outdoor pool opens, but so far they've been doing a good job with the indoor pool. I haven't received any complaints, so that's a great thing, and I hope it stays that way. One more thing I wanted to talk about, well, a couple things. You know, we stayed with planned security for this year, and they made a lot of changes, a lot of personnel changes. Their management team is here. They're very engaged. They're doing a lot of surprise inspections and everything. We're getting weekly reports that are pretty phenomenal. They're calling the guardhouse multiple times on different shifts to make sure the guys and ladies are answering the phone properly, which that was one of my pet peeves. So they're doing a great job with that. A lot of surprise leadership visits. They're doing a lot of inspections of their people also, so they're really kind of turning it around so far. So we really hope they keep that up. They're very, very engaged, and they're going to be meeting with the board in March just to kind of go over things and where we're at. And bear with me on this one, guys. Last big topic I want to talk about is the snowstorm. I know a lot of residents here and on Zoom would like to express their displeasure with how the snowstorm went, and rightly so. I'll be the first to tell you that all the complaints are valid, and I agree with every one of them. I've heard all the complaints. I've seen the issues firsthand. I've gotten hundreds of emails, and I'm trying to get back to everybody as quick as I can with them when we're working remote and I'm not here. So if I miss somebody, I'm sorry. We got flooded. Office got flooded with phone calls. It's been a challenge that we really shouldn't have had to go through, to be completely honest with you. I was able to get here on Monday for a couple hours after I dug myself out, and LMS was making some good progress at the time. They assured me everyone would be dug out by late Monday night. I came in early Tuesday morning to see if everything was done, and I was pretty much appalled. So I'm with you guys. If your home was done in the morning on Monday, you probably don't have many complaints. If your driveway was plowed late Monday night and your walks and salting wasn't done until Tuesday afternoon and night, you should be angry. So the simple answer, which LMS admits themselves, is that they just didn't have enough manpower here to finish the job on Monday night like they should have. It should have been done at least 10 to 12 hours earlier than it was, and done well. And it wasn't. So I've had countless discussions with them expressing my anger on your behalf, and because they didn't do the job right, myself and my team, great team here, got beat up. And that shouldn't happen, because we don't hire people to make our lives more miserable. So I really just wanted to get that out there to you guys, because your complaints are valid. I agree with all of them. LMS has assured us that they'll be making changes and adding more labor should we have another snow event.
Thank you, Matt. I just wanted to tag on to what you were saying. Because of the conditions with the snow removal, the board has requested the management, LMS, to come to our executive session on next Monday and to explain to us exactly what happened so that we can get a handle on this and make sure it never happens again. So we're not happy, the board is not happy with the complaints that came in, and I share your sentiments on regards to how the job was handled, and really, it's not so much the lack of labor, I think it was lack of management to direct those people who are out there to get the job done correctly. So we're going to look into that and get to the bottom of why it all happened, and we'll report back to you. But that's where we are, so they're going to be meeting with the board on Monday. Okay. Thank you.
Thanks.
Do we have a report? Kristen's not here tonight. Susie, do you have a report?
Yes, I do. Saturday, January 31st, there is a movie in the dance room at 1 p.m., Bridget Jones' Mad About the Boy. Sunday, February 8th, Super Bowl party catered by Tuscany, $20 per person, on sale now with the concierge. Sunday, February 22nd, Now and Forever, a Carole King tribute, $30 per person, very limited tickets available with the concierge. Wednesday, March 4th, bus trip to Tropicana in Atlantic City, $30 per person, $20 slot play, on sale now. Wednesday, April 22nd, Ragtime in New York City. Tickets are $140 per person and go on sale Monday, February 2nd. There are limits on purchasing tickets, so please see the flyer beforehand. That's all, Tom.
Okay, thank you. Let's move on to item number 5. It's the Greenbriar Board business.
The Greenbriar Board is unable to approve the meeting minutes. At the December meeting, only 2 board members were present. Therefore, we do not have a quorum, assuming that the 3 board members who are here this evening would abstain. That's about all we can say.
Alrighty, thank you, Chester. All right, let's go back to item number 6, the Warwood business. I got approval of the December 11, 2025 open workshop meeting minutes. Any comments from the board? Any corrections? Okay, seeing none, motion to approve by Jay. Do I have a second? Second by Kathy. Okay, can I have a roll call, Matt?
Okay, Tom Clark,
Yes.
Jay Resper, Bob Brown, Kathy Dodano, Joe Attanasio, Kathy Clark and Gleason, and Jeff Simonson.
Next item is the approval of the December 17, 2025 joint open meeting minutes. Any corrections, any comments? Seeing none, do I have a motion to approve? Moved by Jay, second by Kathy Clarkson. Okay, gonna have a vote.
Sure, Tom Clark,
Yes.
Jay Resper, Bob Brown, Kathy Dodano, Joe Attanasio, Kathy Clark and Gleason, and Jeff Simonson.
Okay, we'll go back over to Greenbriar for your committee reports.
Move to the committee report. There is one item we'd like to address that's not on the agenda. It's just a matter of timing and getting it there. Basically, we propose to amend the bylaws this evening to allow our attorney to basically collect unpaid fees. Those are maintenance fees. I'm sorry. So basically, the Greenbriar Board is proposing an amendment of the association's bylaws to recognize that Greenbriar at Whittingham can act as an agent on behalf of Golf and WOA to collect the monthly maintenance fee and redistribute that fee to Golf and WOA. I'd like to make a motion at this time that we proceed with the discussion. Can I have a second?
I second that.
Okay. Okay, so just a little bit of background on this whole thing. At present, Greenbriar, as most of you are aware, collects $393 per household per month. A portion of that 393 is collected on behalf of Gulf. Another portion is collected on behalf of WOA. In a few situations, people don't pay. It's just that simple for a variety of reasons, which we can get into later if we choose to. But the bottom line is they don't pay, and therefore we have to take legal action to get the money that we are owed. Our council has indicated that we cannot, they will not proceed with legal action until we amend our bylaws to give them very precise authority to do so. So at this point in time, I'd like to, before we open the floor, if I can find it up here, I'd like to read into the minutes the wording that is proposed by the outside counsel for amending the bylaws. So please bear with me on this one. Basically, we're going to amend to start with Article 6, Powers and Duties of the Board of Directors. Section 6.01T, to budget for, assess for, collect, and pay WOA and the Gulf Association, the Greenbriar members' obligation to WOA and the Gulf Association as a portion of Greenbriar's common expense assessment. Another paragraph, 6.02Q, budget for, assess for, collect, and pay WOA and the Gulf Association, the Greenbriar members' obligation to WOA and the Gulf Association as Greenbriar common expense assessments, parens, Declaration, Article 6, Bylaw, Article 7, close parens, unless Greenbriar's board, unless Greenbriar's board vote in an open meeting at least 90 days prior to the end of WOA's and the Gulf Association's fiscal year to no longer undertake such duty. And lastly, we're going to amend Bylaw Article 7, Physical Management is hereby amended to add the following to the end of Section 7.02, and shall include sums necessary to pay WOA and the Gulf Association, the Greenbriar members' obligation to WOA and the Gulf Association, unless such duty has been terminated via Section 6.02Q above. There'll be a test on this later on. Okay, with having said all of that, you got the idea of what we're trying to accomplish. I'm going to open up for further discussion. Mark, do you want to talk about the mechanics of all of this?
Just to cut through all the legal mumbo jumbo that we all had to suffer through. This is, we discovered that our attorneys are simply unable to legally move forward with collecting from homeowners who have failed to pay their monthly assessments because the attorneys represent Greenbriar and they don't represent WOA. WOA has their own attorney. They don't represent Gulf. Gulf has their own attorney. However, as you know, the $390 that Greenbriar residents pay includes funds that are then further remitted to WOA and Gulf, and that's the best way to do it. It's the most efficient way to do it, and it's the most sensible way to do it. But as a result, we hit this obstacle with our attorneys who say, well, we are not authorized to move forward in terms of collecting. Understanding that it's really quite rare that we get to the point in our community where we have to turn to our attorneys and say, we can't collect this money. You have to take action. We have in place mechanisms whereby management spends time tracking down folks who haven't paid. Sometimes they don't pay for 1 month or 2 months. By the time they get to the third month, management is in touch with them. They've made phone calls, they've made emails, but sometimes at the end of the day, management cannot reach anybody. Frequently or periodically, it's a result of somebody who's passed away, and now the property is in the name of an estate, and so they have to find an heir or a beneficiary who may be involved. But at some point, there are a very few number of what they call their bad debts that can't be collected by management making phone calls and sending threatening letters. And those we turn over to attorneys, and attorneys are very good at collecting these bad debts. And then, of course, the last step in that whole process is putting a lien on property. And if that doesn't work, then you move for a sheriff's sale. But all that has to be done with attorneys. We ran into this. We had a few accounts we wanted to turn over, and our attorney said, we can't do it. So it requires this amendment to be done in order for our attorneys to take control of the collections effort. It turns out, however, that under the laws of the state of New Jersey, this vote will be very easy for us to accomplish. We'll put it out as a vote, and people who are against it can vote no. If you don't vote at all, it's a yes vote. And this is a particular issue whereby it would be impossible to imagine somebody would be against the notion of allowing our attorneys to collect bad debts of people who are not paying their fee. So it's not like anybody's being robbed of their right to a decision or to vote, but this particular vote will be handled under what is called the Radburn rules, that allows for homeowners associations to put votes out there under very certain circumstances, whereby if we don't hear from you, we're deeming it to be a yes vote. We want to hear from you. We do need a certain number of yes votes, but if we don't hear from you, it's a yes vote. And that's what we're going to have upcoming. That's the next vote. Anything else you want me to cover, Chester?
You've got most of it.
Okay.
We want to open up the floor for any questions specific to this topic. Specific to this topic. Anyone?
Press the button.
There you go.
All right, so technological. Hi, Tivy Lapkin, 2 Halifax Drive. Okay.
There you go.
Woo-hoo. Okay. First off, I want to know how many people are involved in not paying their bills. Like, how do you not pay?
We every month, the board gets together with management and looks at the state of affairs of our uncollected receivables. And there's a handful. We have 1,194 homes. There's maybe 8 or 10 that owe us money in excess of 30 days or 60 days. And for all of those people that do, 8 or 9 or 10 or 12, Matt and his staff report to the board the status of all of those. And Matt will say, I called this person, she was in the hospital for a month, so she didn't send a check, she's sending a check now. Or they called this person and they're away in Europe for 3 months and stuff like that. So he reaches out to the people in the community. But and then I explained before, some of these homes are owned by people who've passed away, and so the payments stop. And then once we see it's gone to two or 3 months, we get in touch with them and we find out, oh, it's now an estate, and we try to reach out to the to the heirs, who's handling this matter, who's taking care of things, and they're usually relatively unaware that this is supposed to be going on. So Matt arranges to get payments like that, and people get caught up. And there are people who have financial troubles, and they get behind, and they get caught up. All of those things are happening, and as I say, it's a very small number, but at some point, you cannot seem to collect anymore, and you realize, I have to turn this over to an attorney. We need the tools that the legal system makes available to us, and that's what's done. And that's what we found we're unable to do due to the fact that the attorneys have this representation problem. And that's why we're going to do this vote. And as I said, it'll be a vote. You can vote yes if you want, but if you don't vote at all, it's a yes vote.
I love that idea. But backing up, though, I thought we were all on automatic payment.
Yeah, not everybody.
Oh,
No, I don't think it's anywhere near 90%. What is it, 50?
No, more.
It's over 80% that
Is
we
it?
have. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there's still a lot of people who are uncomfortable with the technology of moving money electronically. People want to write a check, lick an envelope, lick a stamp, send it off.
Oh,
to,
yes.
You know. So all kinds of things like that are happening. We've also had circumstances where people were on automatic, but when the person passed away and the family closed the account, now the automatic is trying to charge an account that's no longer there because the person passed away. So all of those wrinkles come into play, and we find out about it when Matt's team makes the phone calls and says, where's our money?
okay, just one other question. How much do the attorneys charge for their involvement, especially where they can't collect?
The attorney's fees are fairly fixed, and it's dependent upon the various steps that they take. If they only have to go so far, it's so much money. If we have to file liens, it's so much money. If we have to bring in a sheriff, it's so much money. But it's in the few $1,000 range. We unfortunately found another wrinkle, which I wasn't going to get into, but I'll just touch upon right now, in that our bylaws were written by idiots. And the bylaws currently state that
Attorney idiots or us idiots?
we don't know for sure, but no doubt there were attorneys involved.
No doubt.
For some reason, and we don't know if this is the case on the Rolla or the Whittingham side, but we've found out from our attorneys in their reading of the bylaws that if we were to incur legal expenses, a normal person would think that those expenses are then tacked on
Yes.
to the debt. That's the way it's done everywhere else in the world. If you default on your mortgage or your car loan or your any loan,
Right.
the bank's attorneys are going to add their fees and charges and everything else to what you owe, and you'll end up paying ultimately. For some reason, the geniuses who wrote our bylaws decided that the debtor, meaning the resident who hasn't paid us, the debtor should only have to pay 20% of the legal fees, and the HOA should have to absorb 80% of the legal fees. Where this reasoning came from, nobody knows, but, you know, these things were written 30 years ago, 50 years ago, 40 years ago, and whatever their thinking was, we can't answer to. We are going to address that portion of the problem in another vote. We're going to need a second vote to change our bylaws to say that from here forward, if we incur legal bills in the effort to collect our monies from you, you are responsible for 100%, which is the way everybody would want it. But that's going to be a separate vote. For the time being, we're just going to be discussing this first vote, which gives our attorneys the authority to collect the full $390 per month on behalf of the community.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know what they've done in the past.
Okay. Oh, I was just about to say that.
She must have really wanted to ask this question.
Well, I didn't know I
You
had
limped
to-
all the way over.
My question is, why can't
Name,
we,
name, and
Nadine Waldman, 58 Birmingham, why can't we do one vote, Part A, Part B? It's hard enough getting people to answer one vote.
It's two different types of votes. One is a Radburn vote, which is
Right.
basically a no vote. The other is a regular vote, which will require 67%
Okay.
participation.
Because we never get
Right.
anybody to vote, so I'm thinking two
You know,
votes.
to allay some of the fears, we're talking about 2% of the home ownership here that could fall into this category. So if you have 1,200 homes, we're talking 12 homes, 20
Not even.
homes.
Not even.
Not even. And
Okay.
of the ones that are on Matt's list, probably there's a half a dozen that we would really want to pursue more aggressively.
Okay,
So
thank
it's
you.
not that everyone is giving somebody a float here or something like that. But it's really a three-step process. We wanted to get moving on it. Tonight, bylaw, then next month or February into March, you'll have this Radburn vote. Once we get through that hurdle, or over that hurdle, or through it, or whatever it takes, we will then move on to the declaration vote, which
Okay,
is the
thank you.
67%er. Okay, seeing no other questions, I'll close this portion of the meeting, and I'll ask for a roll call vote. Make a motion that we adopt the bylaw changes as previously discussed.
Okay. Chester Trubinsky,
Yes?
Ron Parisi,
Yes.
Mark Sirks,
Yes.
Cliff Durlacher, and we have Alan Greenberg on Zoom saying approved.
Okay. Thank you. We have committee reports. Mark, you have anything for budget and finance?
Nothing for budget and finance.
Okay,
It's January. We don't really
Okay.
get going on that.
Covenants, I'm told there is nothing to report. Moving on then, site review, Ron?
We have 9 new applications reviewed and approved, and 12 inspections are undertaken. And just so people know, there's not going to be a meeting in February. We'll have the next meeting in March. So people should be aware of that. And there are 10 new applications.
Okay, you finished?
Yes.
Okay, then moving down to newcomers. I don't believe there's anything being reported for newcomers. So
Yes,
that,
Chad, excuse me, I have a question on newcomers.
Oh?
How many people on the newcomers committee?
that's Alan Greenberg's. Maybe we can reach him?
Well, he's not here, I'll table it, no big deal.
He's on Zoom, he said about 20 or so.
20 people?
Good-sized crowd, that I will say.
Is there a reason for 20 people on that committee?
I'm going to have to turn that one over to
Okay, I'll
Alan.
table it, thank you. Okay, so I guess it's back to me. We're over business. We have our budget and finance. Kathy, anything to report?
Just want to give everyone an update. So we had met with our Budget and Finance Committee on January 8th to discuss November financials. We just received December's financials. They will be posted on the portal, on the resident portal. We will meet with Budget and Finance on February 12th to speak about, to review them, our full year expenses, our December financials. And that's it.
Okay, thank you, Kathy. Anything to report on covenants? Okay, no report. Entertainment.
Entertainment had a show January 18th, the Sensational Soul Cruisers, which was a phenomenal show. And we have scheduled for February the Carole King tribute, and tickets are on sale, and that's almost sold out. That's supposed to be a phenomenal show also. And that's it.
All righty, thank you. Landscape Committee?
Landscape did not meet and doesn't meet in the winter months. We will meet early spring. That'll be the next meeting.
All right, thank you. Site Review?
Site Review had a meeting, and they had one new application and one inspection, and that was it. They're all caught up.
All right, thank you. Town Center Committee?
Town Center Committee met. Town Center Committee met on Thursday, January 8th. First order of business, a new chair was elected, Maria DeLucia. In the fitness center, there's some issues with the one of the bikes and the treadmill. They were scheduled to be fixed on January 9th. For the indoor pool and locker rooms, they will be power washed in the summertime. There's an equipment closet in the indoor pool. There's a lot of things that are left over there from people who are no longer here, so anybody who has something in the equipment room at the pool, please remove it. Anything that's left there will be discarded. Here in the ballroom, the crystals on the small chandeliers have been removed, and the drapes along the side have been removed. There was a discussion about having volunteers to suggest ideas to renovate the entire ballroom. A suggestion was made to have a dart league outside in the summertime. And there were suggestions to have a dart league, throwing darts at the target. So that's not something to do in here, so it was suggested that be done outside, which would be in the summertime. They want the entry steps to the clubhouse to be repainted. And the question came up, if somebody's outside at the pool and they find an issue, how should it be reported to the board? The other thing that was brought up, the committee is suggesting having some signs made up, or a sign made up, for about $260 that would say Greenbriar Whittingham, to be posted somewhere out there in the lobby. And that's it for the town center. The other thing with the resident phone book, there'll just be another couple of days to make any changes. If you haven't looked online to see your listing, please do so now, because once the book is printed, you won't have another choice. So check the online, check your name listing, and also check the address listing at the end. If you have any questions, you can either speak to Maria or to Kathy or to myself. And if you want to take a look at the book later, you can do that. But please check to see that everything is correct in the way that you want it.
Okay. All right, Jay, thank you. I'm going to turn it briefly back over to Greenbriar. They have an item they need to put back on.
Under the heading of Site Review Committee, I just wanted to make you aware that the Site Review Committee has updated the entry door policy. Basically, the entry door policy was written several years ago, and we recently updated it to include garage doors as well as storm doors. In essence, really spelling out the type of construction on garage doors that is appropriate. I think 99% of the homes comply. And the same with storm doors. We've identified the types of storm doors that are appropriate. Basically, a door that has a solid glass panel and a door that has a split glass panel, which enables people to remove the top half of the glass and put in a screen for ventilation. The door that we've eliminated from future use is what I would refer to as a crossbuck door. It's basically a stamped piece of metal halfway up, and the top half is glass. There's a few in the community, but generally speaking, the vast majority of the doors are full glass or half glass panels. I've asked Susie to post this document on our website, remove the older version. If you're going to consider any construction, replacing your garage doors because you backed your car into it, or something like, or your neighbor got to your garage door, or you're going to put a storm door on because of air infiltration, I suggest you read the policy before you act. Thank you.
Chester, thank you. All right, let's move on to item number 8, which is a restaurant update. As many people are aware, the vote was completed for an advisory on whether the community wanted to support a food credit for a new restaurant here in our community, and the vote did pass. So the board is currently preparing a survey that we're going to be sending out to all the residents with a number of questions of similar things of what type of restaurant would you like, what kind of food would you like, what hours, and so on. There'll be questions along that line with no guarantee that all that's going to happen. It all depends on who will be interviewing and what interest is being shown for what they're looking to give us. But we're going to begin with that effort. We're meeting on Monday. We'll be discussing that at our executive session, and we'll move forward with that, and we'll update you as that survey is placed out to the community, and we can get good feedback from all the homeowners on that. And that's pretty much all I have on that at this point. There has been some people who have expressed interest already to us about coming in. I won't give you any names at this point because, as you saw with Mr. Wurzel, he expressed a lot of interest and publicly did so, and we all know how that turned out. So I'm not going to go there until we're absolutely sure on something. So we'll report back to you once we are ready to let the the survey out. Anything else? Anyone on the board want to speak about that? Okay. All right. So let's go to the next item. Is the open forum. Now, if anyone is here tonight to speak about the snow problem we've had, and I appreciate that, and I encourage you to get up and speak. Please just be civil. We don't need to get crazy with with tempers or anything. So please be calm, be civil, get your point across, and we're here to listen to you. Okay. Other than that, if anyone would like to come up to the microphone at this point, please do so.
Hi, guys.
Hold on a second.
No, you can talk. Go ahead.
What's the status of the roofs and the fireplaces?
I can answer that really quick. We did, me and Tom did look at a report that we got from a firm hired by our insurance company on the fireplaces. We've gone back to them with some questions and asked for a little more photo documentation, and it looks like it's an opinion. We want to see some pictures as to what the issues actually are. So I don't have the answer right now. We're still waiting on a little bit more information on that, but we're still asking people who had their roofs done and their fireplaces are not decommissioned to not use them until we get more guidance from our insurance company and the report.
Okay. And a point of curiosity, LMS had a labor shortage through this snowball. Do they give you any indication that might be due to deportations?
No.
I can't hear what you said.
We did not get into particulars on that.
I will lay odds it's true.
Basically said they should have had more people here, and it's obvious, and we know that. I didn't get into any details or questions.
Okay, all right.
Now?
So, that completes the update on the restaurant. We're going to the open forum. So please, if you have,
Thank you.
your name and address for the record.
Who am I? Oh, Marilyn Kirstner.
Try to speak close to the mic.
Marilyn Kirstner, 56 Westminster. 2 questions. So the HOA, is it 393 or 394, and why does it always say a buck here and a whatever?
It is 394. We sent out a correction email back in December after the budget was passed. We made, us, not board, anybody, made a mistake with the Greenbriar coupon books. It said 393, and new ones are going to be going out that First Service is paying for.
So, okay, so if it so shows I owe him a buck, I should.
You owe me a buck, where is it?
I ain't giving it to you. I don't play golf. No, what?
Okay. Everyone in the audience, if you owe me a buck, you can just start a line after the meeting.
And the other thing I would like, with the snow thing, I'll be nice, and I mentioned it to Matt, some of the corners, especially when you're coming in by the main gate, like I come in off of Harwood, you can't see, if they could possibly take down the mountains, it's very hard to see as you turn on a major, that intersection. And I don't know if you heard me, but, the intersection really is not easy to see. At night, it's better because you have the headlights, but during the day, it's, what's the word? Sucks. Thank you for your cooperation in this matter.
We'll talk to them tomorrow. They've had guys here with machines clearing out fire hydrants and things like that, so we can talk to them in the
My
morning.
fire hydrant's almost covered, but it got a stick sticking up of it.
That's what the sticks are for, so they can find them.
Okey dokey.
All righty, thank you. Next, please.
I'm not, just getting used to it. Nadine Waldman, 58 Birmingham. Matt and I spoke. He was great getting back to me. I'm not sure what the answer is to my question. My house didn't get done till like 10:30 Monday night, which was fine. But the problem with doing it at 10:30 is it left a real base layer of ice, which now is still partially on my driveway. I've been going with a boot trying to get rid of the ice because I'm going to get killed. I'm going to get killed doing my mail. So I know a lot of people will get really pissed because I'd rather it done at 10 o'clock than in the morning. But the truth is, in this kind of temperature, 10 o'clock at night or 10:30 wasn't a good idea because the plow can't get down. It'll ruin your concrete.
Yeah.
So you're leaving a
We're in agreement with you on that.
Okay.
And we've already had comments to them in regards to how their processes, and this is where the missing management plays in, because after they clear their paths, they should immediately have the salt down, so the ice does not get a chance to form.
Okay, I just wanted to mention, because I would rather to wait till the morning and not have the ice on my driveway. I don't think it's ever clearing.
Right.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Anyone else?
By the way, I felt very sorry for those poor guys. That was a horrendous job. I did kind of nicely, not complain, but bring my problems to their attention. But that was really a horrendous job. But about the restaurant, and this may seem a little petty, but I'm wondering what percentage of the homes here are owned by two people homes as opposed to one person?
I have no idea.
No?
Yeah, I don't know either, to be honest with you.
Okay. When we last had a charge for the restaurant, I was one person at that time, and I had to pay the $20, which is not a big deal. 15, okay, that's lesser of a deal. However, I was in Florida for 4 months or 6 months or whatever, and they didn't carry over. You lost your...
Yeah, we're aware of those problems,
Okay,
and, yeah,
So-
we'll make sure that doesn't happen.
okay. that really annoyed me. But this time I would like to suggest that there be a difference for a one-person home. $20 is not a big deal, except I think it's different to have one person voting as opposed to one person paying the same price as two people. And I kind of apologize for that, but I think that's fair.
All right, thank you. Is there anyone else?
I just want to comment on something that's been said. Regardless of when your driveway is done, ice can form in these temperatures. I'll wait till she's done. Okay? Regardless of when your driveway is done, ice can form in these temperatures. We're not getting above 32 anytime soon, and it really is in your best interest to purchase and use ice melt, salt, the various products that are out there. I have it. Now, we do put products down, the blue product, CMA. It costs the community $20,000. I'm talking about the Greenbriar side only. It costs the War and Whittingham side as well, but the Greenbriar side, it costs $20,000 an application. We don't hesitate to spend that money. It's important that we make the community as safe as possible, but we can't make it completely safe. You don't have to get your mail. The mail will do fine overnight in your mailbox if your driveway is icy. But if it is, you really should put down some calcium chloride or salt or ice melt or driveway heat or something like that. The other thing I wanted to comment on is someone mentioned that they spoke to the snow removal folks. You should not be doing that. There's no, in our community, it is a requirement that residents of the community, and that includes board members, not speak to the people who are out there doing work in the community, whether it's garbage pickup or snow removal or lawns care or anything like that. Any issues that you have with these folks should be brought to Matt's attention. You should be not approaching them and asking them to do this or do that or move this or move that. That's just not supposed to be happening. So, and the last thing someone mentioned about the piles in the corners, that's just a way of life when you live in the snow belt and you get these once in 10-year snowstorms. Every place you go, there's snow piled high in the corners. It just means we have to drive a little more slowly, a little more carefully coming around at intersections until we can see beyond the snow. You have to have a place to put it, and that's where it mostly ends up. Yeah, there could be a spot where it shouldn't have been, but at the end of most streets, you'll see those piles because that's where people put it.
All right, I can mark, I
Okay.
mean, Matt's going to have LMS take a look to see if it's a safety issue.
Hi, my name is Ina Mulant. I live in 10 Chichester Road.
Can I speak a little closer
Excuse
to
me?
the microphone, a little louder?
Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah, that's better. Close to the
My
microphone.
name is Ina Mulant. I live in 10 Chichester Road, and I have a question about the restaurant. As we get older, we have some health problem. Like I have a big health problem with my digestive system, so I cannot go to the restaurant and eat their food. Okay? No restaurants for me. So why do I have to pay $20 for the place that I cannot go and cannot eat? Can anybody answer this question?
Well, the way it's set up to work, I mean, it's a community effort, so the fee gets placed by door. There's so many doors, every home's got a door, and that's how the fee gets applied. And it's yours money to use. It's not like you don't have a chance to
I cannot use this
get.
money because I cannot go to the restaurant.
Listen, there's a lot of people who want it, there are people who don't
No,
want it.
I'm talking about I cannot physically because I
understand that. I
have
hear-
a problem.
There's going to be more than likely a home delivery service as well, so you can get your
I'm
food that way.
talking about I cannot go to the restaurant to eat.
Well, then, there may be an opportunity for you to take your card and sell it to somebody else who will.
I'm not selling anything because I'm not a salesperson,
I
okay?
hear what you're saying.
But I cannot do this physically. So anything anybody can suggest, what can I do? Just donate the money to the restaurant, or what should I do?
Well, there's a lot of people who don't use the clubhouse, but your HOA fees include the cost to operate this clubhouse, whether you use it or not.
I use a clubhouse, okay?
So, it's just the community that we're in. Those costs are applied all the way across.
So, okay, why this vote was conducted when a lot of people went to Florida? Not everybody is here. Why? Why? Can you explain to me why we're voting when a lot of people is out? Why?
The vote is conducted by email predominantly. For those who don't have email, they did receive a hard copy. So everyone was welcome to vote.
But why did this vote was conducted in this time when a lot of people is not here?
They
Why?
get their email wherever they are.
Okay, I understand, but anybody can answer my question, specifically my question. What should I do?
Well, we made a suggestion, Tom did say, the way we will attempt to conduct the food credit, when we speak to vendors who are interested, what we will do is ask them to allow the card to be sold or given to someone else. If you're not the selling type, then you may want to give it as a gift.
This is ridiculous. I'm sorry,
It's
but this is
unfortunate.
ridiculous.
You live in a community.
I know. I
We
live in a community because this community cannot
It's
handle.
a wonderful community.
Yeah,
hold
And
on,
we
hold
all
on.
share all the amenities. We may not use them. I don't golf, but I pay a fee for golf.
I understand, but
Again, I don't use the indoor pool.
when I bought this house, it was nothing about the restaurant. And by law, it's nothing about the
All right, hold
restaurant.
on.
But it
I
is,
think you should think
it is
about
an
it.
amenity along with everything else, and we all share in those amenities.
Okay, all right.
But that's in any community.
All right. Listen, I can't be having comments from the seat. I can't. If you want to come up to the microphone, please do. Okay. All right. Anyone else want to come to the microphone? Any comment? All right. One more person? All right. I'm going to close it after you.
Joanne Sakoff, 18 Leeds Lane, and
I'm sorry, I'm having trouble hearing you.
I'm having trouble talking. I don't talk publicly, okay? I wrote to Matt the first day of the storm. My house was completely done by 12 midnight Sunday. I think this place did a fabulous job. I know next time, maybe there won't be a next time, I'll be last. But this was the first snowstorm that I've lived here 15 years, but I'm never here in the winter. I have to say, I'm loving it. Sorry, folks. This is fabulous. My house was done. My walk was shoveled. It was exquisite. I love this place. I think that everything you do here is with the residents in mind. Nothing is negated. The only thing I would like to see quickly, my restaurant. And I will pay anyone who wants to give up their coupon. I'll buy it because I'll eat there every day. So I think this crew should have applause, not complaints.
All right. Thank you. Thank you. All right. So I'm going to close the public portion. We'll turn it over to the Zoom.
All right, let's go through a couple Zoom questions. A couple of them were already answered about the fees. First one, Janet Horowitz, 80 Birmingham. It's totally unacceptable that in a 55-plus community, we are told we can park our cars at the town center so driveways can be cleared when it snows. only to get completely plowed in with no resources available, even at an additional fee to shovel out our cars. Residents trying to do this themselves, it's a heart attack waiting to happen. How can we remedy this, please? Janet, when I sent out the emails before the storm, it says, please move your cars off the street if you can, and those cars can be parked in the lot. We're not encouraging people to move their cars out of the driveways and bring them down here to the lot. We're encouraging people to get the cars off the streets, and we're offering up the lot. So we don't have anybody that's going to dig anyone out. That's basically a homeowner responsibility.
Yeah, I mean, that's a standard policy. If you don't remove your car from the driveway and they come by to clean it, and a car is there, they're going to pass you up, and it'll be on you.
Michelle Polk had a question about the size of committees, and I think, Alan Greenberg is on Zoom here, and he answered the question. So I hope that answers your question, Michelle, and thank you for chiming in, Alan. What do we got next? We got a metal box on my front lawn for cable and electric that looks like it's buried with snow. We will get your address, Catherine, and get the guys over to take care of that, hopefully tomorrow. Yeah, a lot of cable boxes are. Can you scroll down so I can see? Let's see what else we got down here. Kathy Farrell, 20 Westminster. How much did it cost to provide all the utilities, overhead, etc. for the last restaurant? I think I can answer that, Kathy, because we don't have those metered separately, say for the utilities and stuff like that. They're all on the clubhouse meter, so can't really give you a breakdown of those costs, to be honest with you. What's the process to report damage from the snow plows? You can call anybody or email anybody in the management office, because we're getting all those calls all the time. So just email me, Renata, Susie, Brittany. We'll get it all taken care of for you. What's the next one? This is a good one, and I like this from Eileen Davidson. Can you please once again remind residents to adhere to the speed limit? Very good. Thank you for that. Irene's got a comment. That's a good one. If a restaurant gets people to eat here that are not accompanied by a resident, can we get them to pay a $2 per person non-member fee to defray the added cost for utilities, trash, and all that other stuff? Don't know what the answer is for that.
No.
I think that's all we have on Zoom right now.
Okay.
I hope I got everybody.
That's what you have, Matt?
Yeah.
Okay. All righty. All right, so we'll close out the Zoom, and that brings us to item of our adjournment. Do I have a motion to adjourn? Moved by Jay, second by Joe, and thank you all for coming down on a very, very cold night. We appreciate it. Thank you.